This is my cash flow. I didn't have to go to the bank and ask anybody. Like I'm not a slave to anyone. The Bible tells us the borrower is slave to the lender. You don't really understand that till you got mountains of debt and you can't sleep at night. One of the reasons also why I was so successful doing wholesaling back in the day, when I was doing it, it wasn't even a term. So no one really even understood what it was. It was just different. No one was really doing it. So again, the market wasn't so saturated. It was pretty simple. The other thing though, I was gonna say is this goes for everyone. If you guys understand my backstory, one of the things I talked about was how when I got my first place 30 years ago, it was non-traditional. Someone held a mortgage for me. I used the Carlton Sheets method. It took me about a year finally to get a yes. But after I got my first yes, but then after I did that, I figured, well, okay, the only reason I was really doing that was because what I like to call it is I bought into the lie. Like the traditional teachings were like, well, if you really want to be successful, this is how you would do it. You got to go borrow money. You got, you use a realtor, you borrow money, then you can pick up more places, and then you could have more places faster, and then you can have more cash flow. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say cash flow, but I can't remember, but you got more places, you got more rental income coming in. That's what it was. But what are the trade-offs to that? The trade-offs was, number one, I got debt. Number two, I got a bunch of tenants. Number three, I also have a lot less cash flow because I got mortgages that are eating a lot of that rental income up. So the positive cash flow was very slim. And I got less of my time because I had to go get a job in order to borrow money. So I bought into that lie. And 9 years later, when I looked up, I realized, man, although I got multiple places, if I were to leave my job now, I still don't have enough cash flow to support my lifestyle. So I went back to my non-traditional methods. And the reason why I looked up and realized that was because although I created a pretty successful little career in banking, I figured while I was there, I might as well, get to the top or as close as possible to the top. And so I created, nice little successful career, but I started getting kind of comfortable. Country clubs, fine dining, good money, boxes and suites when we go to the football, the games, and the athletic arenas. Started getting comfortable. They came a knocking and talking about, they're not saying it this way, but they said it in their own little way, in their actions. Yeah, you're making us a lot of money, but we're still controlling your destiny. My eyes opened up. I was like, yeah, they're right. And that's when I said, if I were to leave, what would that look like? It wasn't a good scenario. I said, okay, I'm going back to my old non-traditional methods. And within a year, I'd done over $300,000. I made over $300,000 with non-traditional methods that I use. And I gave my letter of resignation. I left. I never looked back. Resigned, never looked back. And I've been doing non-traditional ever since. If I would have stayed with non-traditional, even with my lack of experience, my lack of resources, I would have been financially independent and financially free within the first 2 to 3 years. No regrets, learned a lot, but all I'm saying is that is what society is gonna wanna do for a number of different reasons, is to draw you into those traditional methods. There's a lot of reasons why. We won't necessarily get into them all, but there's a lot of reasons why, and none of them are to benefit you. There's that attraction, that pull. I had someone ask me earlier in the platform, I got this opportunity to get a $400,000 mortgage, but I'm not sure, what should I do? I just need a little bit of guidance. And of course I started off with saying, congratulations, that's great. But then my other answer after that, I was like, if you're looking for my guidance, I can only give you guidance based on what it is you're telling me you're looking to accomplish. And if you're telling me that you're looking for financial independence and financial freedom, I would just ask you to reconsider or consider how $400,000 in debt is gonna help you feel when it comes to having financial freedom. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do it. You need to ask yourself that question. Then also consider, how much debt do you really need in order to get your first few places? I didn't answer it. I just asked the question. And I said, I would recommend that maybe you consider getting your first few places, get a few places first, get them going, and then think about it again. Because now when that really becomes real for you and you realize, man, this is the kind of cash flow I have coming in, and I don't owe a penny on this stuff. This is my cash flow. I didn't have to go to the bank and ask anybody. Like, I'm not a slave to anyone. The Bible tells us the borrower is slave to the lender. You don't really understand that till you got mountains of debt and you can't sleep at night sometimes. The whole point, I guess I'm just saying, is I'm not saying that you shouldn't do any of those things. That's, and then I ended with, listen, just pray. Like, if the Lord's giving you vision for something, get in a place, in a space where you're able to continue to hear his voice and direction for you. He'll make it pretty clear. Whatever he makes clear, then go for it. That may not be the answer you were looking for. However, that's what I have to offer. The reason why I'm sharing that again is because I'm never going to try and put a damper on the things you're looking to do. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to discourage you, and definitely not here to turn you away from what God's calling you to do.